Welcome to this video, which is a focus on different forms of government. This video can be shown in the 10th grade classroom. In this video you will find a mini lecture, but also a rap discussing the different forms of government.
The Husky that we are going to be looking at for this lecture is 1.2.1, and it identifies and distinguishes between 11 different forms of government and introduces them to the students. These forms of government include an anarchy, a monarchy, military junta, aristocracy, democracy, authoritarian, constitutional republic, fascist, communist, socialist, and theocracy.
The reason we decided to make a video like this was that we found ourselves in college struggling to remember all the different forms of governments. So in this video you will find a short mini lecture on the 11 different forms, but then following the video you will hear a rap, which is hopefully going to allow students a better ability to remember the different forms of government in a fun and engaging way. So hopefully you enjoy the video and you take away something from it.
A theocracy is a form of government where the rulers claim to be ruling on behalf of a set of religious ideas or as direct agents of the deity. An example of where this can be found is Iran, and some examples of people are the prophets of Moses and Muhammad. In a communist country, the government owns all businesses and farms and provides people with health care, education, and welfare. An example of where this can be found is Cuba, and some leaders from the past are Karl Marx, Stalin, Gorbachev, and Hu Jintao. A constitutional republic is led by representatives of the voters. Each is individually chosen for a set of or period of time. And an example of countries that rep this form of government are India and the United States of America, and an example of a leader is Barack Obama. An anarchy is a situation when there really is no government. This can happen after a civil war in a country, when a government has been destroyed and rival groups are fighting to take its place. An example of a leader is Mikhail Bakunin, and an example of a country is Afghanistan. A military junta is led by a group of military officers who rule a country after seizing power from an existing government. Some examples of places that have this government are Egypt, Thailand, and Brazil. And some of the examples of leaders are the Supreme Council of Armed Forces in Egypt, also known as SCAF, or Hosni Mubarak. In a democracy, the government is elected by the people and for the people. Everyone who is eligible to vote, which is a majority of the population, has a chance to have their say over who runs the country. An example of a country that has this form of government is India, and also the United States of America. And some examples of leaders are Manmohan Singh or Barack Obama.
Monarchy is a type of government that started in Rome. Rome was ruled by Augustus, and he held power and control over everyone. It is very rare in the world today, but can still be observed. In an aristocracy, there is a ruling elite. It started in Greece a long time ago and was led by Julius Caesar. And during this time, in Greece, the privileged held all of the power. The most famous authoritarian government was led by Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler was a dictator who held control by force in his country of Germany. It is currently present in Iraq. Fascism is a type of government that was led by Mussolini in the middle of the 20th century. It was present in Italy and it sought to unify a state, but it is extremely rare today. In a socialist government, many large industries and education services are owned by the government. Albania was probably the most famous type of socialist government. However, it is now currently present in Norway.
Military junta is led by a committee of authority, where Mubarak of Egypt led by the minority. A military junta can sometimes be called a dictatorship. Egypt has its government and Mubarak was a drip. In a theocracy, rulers think that they have divine guidance. Iran believes that this will give them a fighting chance. Where Muhammad and some others were leaders at the top, theocracy leaders believe that they will never drop.
Adolf Hitler was the most famous dictator, held control by force even though there were haters. Now present in Iraq, elections never occurred, opinions don't matter, individuals aren't heard.
Anarchy is a situation when there is no government. Mikhail Bakunin is a key player in the development. Bakunin led others for more than 20 years. He was from Russia where they reigned for many, many years.
You got the G-O-V-E-R-N-M-E-N-T. Got the G-O-V-E-R-N-M-E-N-T. Got the G-O-V-E-R-N-M-E-N-T. G-O-V-E-R-N-M-E-N-T. Go, G-O-V-E-R-N-M-E-N-T. Go, G-O-V-E-R-N-M-E-N-T. Go.
A democracy is elected for the people's betterment. India and the US rep this form of government. Obama and Singh are leaders of these countries. They try to listen and execute their people's needs.
Mussolini was a fascist. He ruled in Italy, united people, creating identity. Race was the foundation, one would say. Fascism is rare in the world today. Socialist systems own many industries, from welfare to education opportunities. And there hopes there was one socialist. Observe Norway's government and you'll get the gist. You got the G-O-V-E-R-N-M-E-N-T. Got the G-O-V-E-R-N-M-E-N-T. Got the G-O-V-E-R-N-M-E-N-T. G-O-V-E-R-N-M-E-N-T. Go, G-O-V-E-R-N-M-E-N-T. Go, G-O-V-E-R-N-M-E-N-T. Go.
A constitutional republic is formed under a constitution. The government takes control, so there is no pollution. The US and India rep this form of democracy. Obama and Singh are at the head of this democracy.
There once was a monarch who settled in Rome. His name was Augustus. He ruled in a dome. He held all the power and control over everyone, from grandfather to father. Power passed to the son.
Communist government rules over the people in commerce, and the government provides welfare to help reimburse. Cuba and China were well known for this kind of rule, where Gentile and Castro thought everybody was a fool.
In an aristocracy, there is a ruling elite. Julius Caesar was one, although it started in Greece. Began in ancient times, the privileged held power, worked somewhat, but these groups turned sour.
You got the G-O-V-E-R-N-M-E-N-T. Got the G-O-V-E-R-N-M-E-N-T. Got the G-O-V-E-R-N-M-E-N-T. G-O-V-E-R-N-M-E-N-T. Go, G-O-V-E-R-N-M-E-N-T. Go, G-O-V-E-R-N-M-E-N-T. Go.
Thanks for watching our short lecture and funny rap on the different forms of government. We hope that the lecture and the rap will help you be able to distinguish the different forms of government from here on out and help you ace your next test.
Thanks for watching.